30. Good evening and welcome to the Town Board of the Town of Ossining regular meeting for Tuesday, June 14th, 2022. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's do a roll call here. Councilperson Feldman,
Present. Nice to see you.
thank you. Councilperson Meyer,
Present.
Councilperson Manicchio,
Here.
and that's it for right now, right? I
There
may
is
not-
also me. I'm here too.
Oh, yeah,
Supervisor
I was just looking
Levenberg.
for, your other councilperson for,
Yes,
until she gets here. Okay, Supervisor Levenberg,
I'm here.
excellent.
And we are going to start with some announcements. I am so excited to share that Ossining's Juneteenth Festival will take place this Sunday, June 19th at Lewis Engle Waterfront Park from 12 noon to 4 p.m. Yes, it is also Father's Day, and I am wishing a very happy Father's Day to the fathers that we have on the town board, as well as all of the other fathers watching this evening or anytime between now and Father's Day, and even on Father's Day if you decide to watch that day. We're wishing you a happy Father's Day and thank you for all that you do for our children. The event at the park for Juneteenth will feature readings, music and dance, food and festivities. The town is proud to be a co-sponsor of this year's festival, as we feel it is important for the entire community to learn more about and celebrate the full story of our American history. Town offices will be closed on Monday, June 20th in observance of Juneteenth. This will be the third year that the town has recognized this important date in American history in this way, and we look forward to continuing to do so well into the future. I hope you will also take time to reflect and learn about the Black American experience and join us in reaffirming the commitment to build a more equitable society here in Ossining and beyond. The Talk Culture Literary Book Club will hold its June discussion on June 18th at 3 p.m. And this month's book is The Book of Forgiving by Desmond Tutu and Mfu Tutu. This book club will take a hiatus over the summer, so this is your last chance to join the discussion before September. You can also join the Community Equity Task Force for a 21-day racial equity challenge starting June 18th. Join us as we read The Sum of Us by Heather McGee and engage in a series of activities intended to deepen our understanding of and commitment to racial equity. Follow along on Facebook, chat with other participants in the challenge Facebook group, and receive weekly email recaps by joining our Google group, which is Ossining-Equity-Task-Force at googlegroups.com. Tuesday, June 21st is Make Music Day. Check out the Make Music Ossining Briarcliff page on Facebook for a full lineup of events happening around town to mark this special day. Wrap up your Make Music Day at 7:30 p.m. at the Boathouse for open mic with the Mike Risco Band. Shout out to Mike and Miriam Risco for organizing this fun event every year for the community, and maybe you will hear the town supervisor play a little ditty on the guitar, since I did take one lesson with Mike Risco and he claims I have potential. Do you have a young person in your life looking for a summer job? Start out by getting certified as a lifeguard at the Ossining Recreation Department. The sessions will be Friday, June 24th, Saturday, June 25th, Monday, June 27th, and Tuesday, June 28th. You must attend all sessions to receive the certification. Register now at villageofossining.org, and the Youth Bureau is offering scholarships for the fee. Email mgarcia@villageofossining.org to learn more. Do any of my board colleagues have additional announcements? Okay, Councilwoman Feldman.
The Ossining Arts Council 2022 Members exhibit is opening at the Ossining Public Library. The opening night reception is Thursday, June 16th from 6:30 to 8:30. Many of our local artists will be there. And the show is running at the library from June 3rd to June 28th. But if you'd like to meet the artists at the same time, Thursday night's your night to do it.
And you reminded me, there's also an event that same evening at Sing Sing Kill Brewery. It's a fundraiser through an organization which I currently actually do not remember the name of, but they are raising money partially for themselves. It's in Hudson, I forget. And they're raising money also for what used to be known as Ossining for Refugees and is now Open Arms for Refugees, helping to resettle refugees from either war-torn countries or other places in the world that are seeking refuge here in the United States and specifically in the surrounding area, Lower Hudson Valley. That's from 7 to 10. And you can find out more information at openarmsforrefugees.org. Okay, any other announcements from my board colleagues? All right, so I'm going to just go right into our administrative report. Last week, we learned that due to volatility in the energy markets, Sustainable Westchester is having difficulty securing a new contract via Westchester Power with a fixed rate similar to the ones that we have enjoyed for the past 6 years in the program. Our 100% green community choice aggregation program will be paused over the summer while Sustainable Westchester watches the energy markets and enters into a competitive bidding process for the next fixed rate contract. Your service will not be disrupted, but customers will be transitioned to Con Ed's standard supply and variable rates during the pause, beginning with the first billing cycle after June 30th, which is the end date for the current contract. Affected participants will receive a notification letter in the mail from Sustainable Westchester in the coming days with details about the electricity supply service pause. They will also receive a transfer notice from Con Edison indicating that they are receiving the standard electricity supply, which is at a variable rate. There's no action needed from residents to remain in the program when the program restarts. When we have the official restart date in place during the month prior, participants will receive a re-enrollment letter with confirmation of their energy supply choice and the new rate. They will also receive instructions on how to change the energy supply option or opt out of the program before the new rates are in effect. Residents can pursue their own energy supply if they prefer. However, if a resident elects to sign an agreement with a private energy supply company, also known as an ESCO, during the pause period, they will no longer be eligible for Westchester Power automatically, and not until their contract is up, unless they want to get out of it early, and they will not be automatically re-enrolled into the program when it restarts. And that's true for anybody who is in an ESCO. You can, again, get out of your contract if you so desire and opt in, but you have to actively make that choice. For more information and to get your questions answered, please join a webinar hosted by Sustainable Westchester on Monday, June 20th at 7 p.m. at, oh my goodness gracious, https://tinyurl.com/Upper River Towns June 20. You can also visit sustainablewestchester.org/WP/Con Ed territory to learn more, or email Westchester Power at sustainablewestchester.org. Or you can call 914-242-4725 during the hours of Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. with any questions. And since that might be a lot for you to remember or to have written down, you can also call the town supervisor's office at 914-762-6001, and we will direct you to information to answer your questions if we cannot do so ourselves. On a more optimistic note, we have been doing a lot of work recently to plan for improvements at our waterfront. This past Friday, we held a stakeholder meeting as part of phase 2 of the Climate Adaptive Design Studio. The town of Ossining was host to phase 1 of the Climate Adaptive Design Studio with students from Cornell University in the fall of 2019. And now in phase 2, we are one of a very select group of Hudson River communities who have been awarded $125,000 grant for engineering and design to advance the student designs to become feasible and implementable projects. At Friday's meeting, stakeholders from across Ossining attended to provide guidance and feedback to HDR, the engineering firm assigned to the project, as they start their preliminary designs. We look forward to sharing more with the community over the summer and into the fall. Huge thanks to the Hudson River Estuary Program and New York State DEC for recognizing Ossining as a leader in resiliency and shoreline planning with this grant. Also, big shout out to Victoria Caffarelli and also Maddie Zahach from Village of Ossining for all the work that they've put in to help us get to this point. We've also been working on concept designs for a new stage at Lewis Engel Waterfront Park as part of our request under the Downtown Revitalization Initiative funding. We are also working with HDR on this project, as well as they are obviously intimately involved with the waterfront resiliency and redesign. So we're hoping that those two are synergistic. And we had the opportunity to share 2 concept designs with the town board as well as the public at Village Fair this past Saturday. And we're hopeful that this project will be included in the DRI funding request. I know the village had their last meeting tonight. Oh, Victoria, did you want to?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, so yes, the Village of Ossining had their last community meeting where they asked the community to provide some feedback on which projects. They have about $15 million in projects. They have to narrow it down to between 13 and 14 million to send to the state for the final decision-making process. And they were looking for community feedback on which projects sort of rose to the top. So they had an in-person meeting today, but they are also going to be circulating a survey that members of the community can respond to. I think the window for the survey is pretty short. So as soon as we receive the survey, we'll share it out on the town's social media and websites and all that sort of good stuff. But we'll really only have through the weekend to make your voice heard as to what you think the top project should be to kind of be prioritized first with the DRI funding.
Great. And also we are planning to seek additional grant funding under the consolidated funding application in July to ensure this project is in fact transformative for Ossining. There was one other thing I wanted to mention. I think I just saw the signs up for Portugal Day, which is this Sunday at Market Square. Saturday at Market Square. Sorry, I'm confusing because there's 2 Juneteenth celebrations and I knew it overlapped with one, but it is the 18th it's overlapping with. Thank you. Saturday at Market Square. I believe it starts at noon and it goes well into the night. So get ready for some wonderful Portuguese music, food, dancing, and so much more as we have every year. And I'm sure it's going to be a great fair. Come on, come on. And I think that is it for my 2 reports. With that, are there any liaison reports from any of our council members?
Hi, Dane. I just wanted to congratulate in advance the class of 2022 graduates of the Ossining High School. That's coming up this Saturday also. And especially a good shout out to my son, Gino. You make me very proud as a parent at Ossining High School. So I'd like to congratulate all his fellow graduates. So thank you.
Big congratulations, and we're very excited to see a whole class graduate. It was so much fun seeing some of all the prom pictures posted. I think Briarcliff also had their prom, so congratulations to all the graduates that we're going to be seeing also from Briarcliff. Not sure when their graduation is, but I didn't remember that ours was this weekend, so that's great, and thank you for that. We're also going to have an opportunity to soon recognize Pat Yost. He won an award from the Westchester Department of Parks and Recreation as Volunteer of the Year for this past Friday, and I attended the ceremony with Bill Garrison, and it was just so nice to see somebody from Ossining receive that recognition, and Pat couldn't be more deserving for all of his volunteer service. So we will have another opportunity to recognize him with proclamation coming soon. Any other liaison reports? All right. Hearing none, we have a departmental report from our very own town clerk, the Honorable Suzanne Donnelly.
Thank you very much. So I'll get right into it so we don't waste any time. Vital records, we continue to see an increase of both birth and marriage record requests because the baby boomers are looking to get Social Security and enhanced driver's licenses. It is reassuring to know you can go to the community where you were born or married and get a certified copy of these documents. Please note, Ossining Hospital closed in 1955. So if you were born after that date, please understand that you might have lived in Ossining, but you most likely were born at Phelps, which is in Sleepy Hollow, formerly known as North Tarrytown. All requests should be done online on the Town of Ossining webpage under Town Clerk Vital Records. This is the same place one can order death certificates for anyone that passed within the boundaries of the Town of Ossining. Our records go back to the 1880s, since there was a fire those many years ago. When you go to the website and are looking for records from generations ago, you must use the genealogy file request form. Failure to do so will result in a delay of you getting the documentation because we will have to ask you to redo your requests. After our dog census, we'll go into dog licensing now. After our dog census in 2021, we saw a marked improvement in compliance of the New York State regulation to license your dog. A year later, we have seen a drop in dog license renewals, and we'll be sending out an email to all registered dog owners who fail to renew their license, stating that they could be subject to a fine of up to $25 if they don't register their dog. This email will be sent out at the end of June, so we're asking you please to use this grace period to re-register your pet. You can do so in the comfort of your home or at the office or by going online to the Town of Ossining Town Clerk and look for dog license renewal. Follow the steps to either pay online, send to the office or mail or bring it right into the office. You will be issued a 2022 dog park tag upon receipt, which allows you to use the dog parks in either Cedar Lane Park or Nelson Park. In 2020, we saw,
Ryder Park?
no, Cedar Lane Park or,
Ryder.
I apologize, Ryder Park. Somebody was talking Nelson Park all day today to me about something else that was going on. I apologize. Thank you for the clarification.
Sorry.
In 2020, we had 383 dogs registered, which we knew was not correct because I personally know in my neighborhood, we have at least that many dogs. I issued the census and increased the licensing threefold, which was more realistic number, even though we know many dogs are still not licensed with us. Please make sure you take care of this because many buildings and complexes require you to have your dog licensed. It is a New York State law, as mentioned before, and it is our way of making sure that your pet is up to date with its rabies vaccination. We work with the SPCA when dogs are lost and found by animal control or the police. You must prove that your dog is licensed before you can claim your dog. There are also fees attached to releasing your dog. We have 2 completed cabaret licenses from the town, Maya Riviera, and as you will see tonight, the resolution for the Briarcliff Manor. These are the only 2 that should be having music, so please let us know if you know of any other establishment. The town has been very successful on folks registering to renew their alarms. We are following up with those who did not renew their alarms and request that all new systems and our owners register their alarms with the town. Again, you can find the applications online at the Town of Ossining webpage. We have the ability to issue hunting and fishing licenses for New York State as a courtesy to our residents and often visitors. We ask everyone who's interested for the times that when we'll be issuing them to call 914-762-8428. Depending on what's going on in the office, we sometimes change the days of the week that these are that we will be issuing these licenses. The boat ramp permitting is moving along slowly, and we want to remind everyone that they must purchase a boat ramp permit, to use the boat ramp. Thank you to those at the Boat and Canoe Club for reminding folks that they need to be purchased. I believe we should look for many other ways to enforcing this purchase of permits to complement the Boat and Canoe Club enforcement. Taxi senior coupons. As everyone probably knows, the clerk's office took over the taxi services in our town in 2021. All companies are now able to accept senior citizen coupons, and we are constantly monitoring. So if there's any senior issues that come up, or if you have any issues or complaints, please call the town clerk's office at 914-762-8428, or talk to the senior nutrition program folks, and they'll be glad to take down the information for you. Please, if you can, give us the cab company, the car number, and tell us if there was a license in the front of the an individual driver's license in the car. We continue to support the town in many ways, from handling bid documents throughout the process, and when the final project is awarded to go, as well as the large purchases to go to bond documents. Notary services are also available in the clerk's office. Many banks no longer have this service available. Again, we ask those in need of the service to call the office to make sure our notary is available. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for making it very easy for people to work with the clerk's office, and also doing so much online. Do any of my board colleagues have any questions for the clerk? No?
Oh, thanks for being there, and taking care of it, especially the taxi coupons.
And thank you for having your face on the camera during my speech, because I love that. You're on there.
Why?
Why?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
okay.
okay.
All right.
Thank you very much, and thank you.
We're all here. Okay. Thank you again. And next up, we have yet another departmental report from our wonderful building inspector, John Hamilton. John, we are happy that you made it on. I know that you had a few technical difficulties, so nobody but us knew that except for now. Because I told
Yeah. Fortunately, my dog fixed it for me, so all is well.
there you have it.
So good evening, everybody. We've been extremely busy. Not so much with building permits. They're coming in, but they're slowing down as the economy changes now. We're noticing a slowdown in them. But people are still doing their renovations, and the people that got permits when the times were a little bit better are still doing their work. So we're still getting those in as well. But we do have Terra Rustica and Maya Rivera have been notified today. We just sent the letters out that their outdoor dining permits expire on July 8th. And we'll be coming out there on July 9th to make sure that everything has been removed. Terra Rustica just did that beautiful work on the deck out there. If any of you've seen it with the roof on it, it's really very pretty. And they're going to be coming back to the planning board. They want to possibly convert it to a 3-season room. So they're putting all their paperwork together. In the meantime, I gave them a temporary CO pending the decision of what's going to happen with that. Excuse me. In ARB, they have 68 Somerstown Road is really the only case that's before them right now. They're working on that. Parth Knowles is scheduled with me I think it's next week, to do a final for their CO. I have to verify with Valerie that Steve Coleman went out there and took a look. I'm kind of just waiting for Steve Coleman now to clear that on the environmental end of it. And if all is well, we'll be ready to pretty much issue them a CO. River Knoll, as you know, is still in limbo. We're waiting for them to come back with something. We've heard nothing. The 39 Stormytown Road did get an approval, and we're waiting for them, along with, with Robert Rinaldi there for the 9 houses. So we're just waiting for them to submit a building permit. There's going to be a massive project going on at Mary Knoll. They're redoing all of their water piping from top to bottom. They're redoing the whole thing, and they're going to be doing HVAC work. It's a tremendous project, and their engineer has been in contact with me, but they haven't submitted anything yet for me to review. I told them I need them to work very closely with Board of Health to make sure that what they're doing is in compliance with health laws as well. And St. Augustine's over there, the battery storage facility. They got their approvals, and I'm just waiting for them also to submit a building permit application. So we have a few of them in the pipe, but I'm just waiting for them to get the permits into us. But in the meantime, we've been going out doing the fire inspections that are due now. So we've been kept pretty busy with that. And the projects that are going along, we're still doing pretty much with them. And the complaints, people are complaining. and we go out and check that as well. So it's been kind of busy. It's been kind of busy.
Thanks for keeping up with it all. We
Mhm.
appreciate it. And
No, it's
we always
yeah.
get good feedback from your office. So we appreciate all that you guys do.
That's good. I think this is going to be my last meeting with you, if I remember correctly. I don't think I'll have another one scheduled.
I didn't know if
So-
we were officially announcing.
I don't
that.
know. I think our town council wants you to come back for a farewell tour. I don't think she's gonna
Oh.
let you get away with
You
that, so.
can't take off in August, John.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen, but just in case, I wanted to take a moment if I could. I wanted to thank Dana. I want to thank Victoria. I want to thank Christy, the town board, the department heads, the departments, all the personnel. It's been an honor to work here in this town. People don't know how hard the people in this town work. They really bond together, all the departments. I always say that this is a team effort. You always hear me say that, and it is. All the departments always work together here. There's a great rapport. People really try to go out of their way to help the public and to help one another. Our leadership has been super. I'm going to miss all of this. I really am. And I just want to thank you all for having the honor and the pleasure of working with all of you. And I will miss you all.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much for all that you've done for the town. You worked for the village for a long time, came over to the town. And I know that also Sue Donnelly was town supervisor
Mhm.
with you, and know that you were always had a good working relationship, and we're just grateful for the professionalism with which you handle your job and all of your responsibilities. And I know that you have a great relationship with your staff, as well as so many of the other people in village and town. So we're grateful for all that you've given to us in your previous retirement, and now that you're going on to your next retirement. We'll see if we ever see you back again.
You never know what the future brings.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I say.
Wow.
But
You should-
it's been, I have no complaints. I really don't. I don't have any complaints. It's been a great ride. And in the immortal words of one of my idols, that's all, folks.
Well, let's see. I think that Councilwoman Fields Tweel has a comment or a question. I don't know, maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Go ahead. What does she?
That's okay. Congratulations on your retirement, first of all.
Thank you.
And I did have a question. When you mentioned the CO for Parth Knoll, could you just describe what it's for?
It should be, in theory, for the entire project, pending approval from the planning board consultants. So far, I've gotten sign-offs from engineering, water, assessor, highway. I've gotten sign-offs on everybody. I've gotten all the certifications that I need. The last piece in the puzzle is the sign-off from planning and environmental part of planning.
All right,
And
thank you.
just to clarify, they've been issued temporary certificates of occupancy previously.
Right.
So this isn't the first step as far as occupancy goes. John, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the final step.
Right, we have a temp on one building, and this building was under construction at the time. And if all goes well, this might finally be the conclusion for it. Again, I'm just waiting for planning / environmental from planning.
And that means their pool is also done, right? I assume, because that was part of the.
Well, that's something that they're working with planning on, because Board of Health has been kind of slow. I guess they're very busy, and with COVID and everything, they've had a lot of problems. And I told him I have no jurisdiction over that, for him to work with planning, because if it's in the resolution, I can't change it. So that's one of the conditions that he has to meet.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
All right, fantastic. Any other questions or comments? Thank
I
you.
miss you.
We
I'm
will.
gonna miss all you guys. I really am.
But I just want to know, what's your next car going to be that you buy?
I beg your pardon?
So what's the next car that you buy going to be?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have another year on my lease, so I can't answer that. As
I'm
I-
just hoping it's going to be a plug-in hybrid.
It'll be a hybrid. It'll definitely be a hybrid. That I can
I know
tell
you
you.
like that car, so.
I really like the one I got. I'm sorry, I do. I like the hybrid. I really do. When I plug that in every morning, and I only use about maybe 8 miles of gasoline during the day. You'll see when you get my gas bill. I think I
No, I
put a
do.
half tank in every 2 weeks or something.
Yeah,
I gas up because now that we have the card and we can just do it, I do it every morning religiously.
Great.
It's great. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
take it. Is that my going away present?
No, not at all.
All right.
But anyway, thanks again, John. Thanks for the report. Glad we're continuing to keep you very busy until the bitter end. And
Yep.
we will talk to you and see you again.
I look forward.
Maybe not on this kind of a meeting, but around.
We'll be around.
All
I'm
right.
always there. Thank you
John.
all.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, and I believe we are up to public comment on agenda items. So anything that's on our upcoming agenda, if you want to comment on it, public, raise your virtual hand and you shall be recognized. And I see one hand being raised.
Okay. Jamie, you can unmute.
Thank you. I've unmuted. On your agenda items, the continued commitment to sustainability and being able to secure grant funds in order to improve our environment is something applauded and lauded. What I would request, though, is that because Metro North Railroad has been identified by Croton as the largest contributor to greenhouse gases, and we're in the prevailing wind, and additionally suffering from, the continued noise poisoning, my hope is that the board can align with Croton in an effort to create resolution to both, one, the noise, and then two, the greenhouse gases. So that's kind of my request. And then to couple on to that, my hope is that the board can assign somebody on the board as our noise czar. So then that way we have somebody who can really be shoulder to shoulder with us as we continue to be challenged by both the noise that M&R is generating, obviously the greenhouse gases that they're generating as a result of continual idling, but be in a position where we have somebody who understands, what our lives are like, really looking at a lot of the quote unquote sacred time as being, the noisiest time. So I'm putting in a request for a noise czar to continue to help champion our quest for silence and higher quality air. So I am formally requesting that. And then additionally, we need some responses to the questions regarding, the police support and supporting our enforcement of our weight limit. So I know that's off topic, but that's it for now. Applaud for all the efforts to improve our environment, and request / pleading for somebody on the board to really be our, on our shoulder for this incredible initiative to try to get to silence.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else with any comments on agenda items only from who's in our audience this evening? Please do raise your virtual hand if you have something to say or any question. Okay. With that, I think we're going to get into our resolutions, and I'll turn it over to Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Approval of minutes, regular meeting, May 24th, 2022. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby approves the May 24th, 2022 minutes of the regular meeting as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody
Opposed? Oh, sorry. Okay. Approval of the voucher detail report. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby approves the voucher detail report dated June 14th, 2022 in the amount of $706,049.28.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Resolution modifying town board meeting schedule. Whereas at the annual reorganizational meeting, the town board established by resolution the meeting schedule for the year, and with its work sessions generally held on the first and third Tuesdays of the month, and its legislative sessions generally held on the second and fourth Tuesday of the month, subject to certain modifications. And whereas it has come to the board's attention that there are certain conflicts with the meeting schedule that the board wishes to address, including its June 28th, 2022 meeting and its August 23rd, 2022 legislative meeting, which are the dates of the election primaries, which the clerk's office will be administrating. And whereas the town board also wishes to cancel one work session on July 5th, 2022, which is the day after the 4th of July holiday, when many people, including the town board members, staff, and public take vacation, and therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby modifies the meeting schedule as follows. The legislative sessions scheduled for June 28th, 2022 will be held on June 29th, 2022 at 7:30 p.m. via video conferencing in accordance to Chapter 1 of the laws of 2022 and the Governor's Executive Order 11 and sequentially extended. The legislative session scheduled for August 23rd will be held at 8:30 a.m. via video conferencing in accordance with the Chapter 1 of the laws of 2022 and the Governor's Executive Order number 11, as which was extended. And the July 5th, 2022 work session will be canceled. Be it further resolved that the authority that hold remote meetings is rescinded or expired. The above referenced meetings will be held on the first floor conference room of Town Hall, 16 Groton Avenue. And be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to notice said meetings as required by law. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So obviously, we're making a few changes to our summer meeting schedule to accommodate two primary elections in June and August, June 28th and August 23rd, and the Independence Day holiday. As you heard, this is just an opportunity to remind everybody, besides the June 28th upcoming primary, that early voting does start this Saturday and goes through the Saturday, the 18th, and goes through the 26th of June. And then there's one down day between early voting and the primary, which is again on the 28th. Any discussion or questions?
We know where it's going to be in the Joseph G. Caputo Community Center.
It's in the art room. It's
Okay.
on the first floor. Like it's in the same room it always is. Okay.
Thank you.
I believe that early voting starts at 10 on Saturdays and Sundays to begin with, and then I'm pretty sure it's early Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a little bit later Tuesdays and Thursdays.
It's pretty, we have it posted here. We'll send it out so that you can post it on the webpage, but it's many more hours than it has been in the past too, especially on the weekend.
Any questions about the resolution?
Can I just add one piece of information? When this resolution was drafted, we did not know the status of the governor's executive orders. Today, a couple of hours ago, the state of emergency through Executive Order 11 was extended. And so we can continue to hold meetings remotely at least through July 14th.
July 14th. Okay, thank you. But so it's still good that we have the caveat because we do talk about.
Yes, but it just happened a few hours ago. So I figured
Yes.
for the benefit of the board and the public, I would let you know.
We're grateful. Thank you, Governor. Okay, with that, let's call the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Amendment to 2022 cabaret license, the Briarcliff Manor. Whereas at its May 25th, 2022 legislative meeting, the town board approved a cabaret license for the Briarcliff Manor Restaurant and Catering Corp., 25 Studio Hill Road, Briarcliff Manor, the applicant, for the calendar year 2022, and now therefore be resolved, consistent with other prior cabaret licenses granted to the applicant. The applicant's cabaret license for 2022 is amended solely in respect to the condition 3 to state no amplified music shall be permitted outdoors. Be it further resolved that to the extent not modified by the resolution of the May 24, 2022 determination, the board shall remain in full force and effect. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So again, the town board approved the cabaret license for the Briarcliff Manor, and it subsequently came to our attention that in the resolution, we had inadvertently deviated from the stipulations of the license from previous years. This resolution restores the stipulation regarding no amplified music outdoors that had been in place for many years. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Resolution to support Westchester's youth climate action demands. Whereas the United States of America signed on as a party of the Paris Climate Agreement on April 22nd, 2016, and re-entered the agreement on January 20th, 2021, agreeing to pursue efforts to limit global temperature increase to 1.5 degrees centigrade above the pre-industrial levels. And whereas on April 4th, 2022, the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, Sixth Assessment Report, Climate Change 2022, Migration of Climate Change, reported that there was no abatement of existing or currently planned fossil fuel infrastructure. Cumulative global net greenhouse gases, GHG, emissions will exceed the pathways limiting the warming of 1.5 degrees centigrade. And whereas New York State passed a Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act, Climate Act, on January 18th, 2019, mandating 40% reduction in economy-wide GHG emissions in New York State and no less than 85% reduction by 2020. And whereas on October 19th, 2021, Westchester County passed a resolution declaring a climate emergency and urging local governments to adopt climate emergency declarations and take action to mitigate the effects of climate change. And whereas on May 26, 2009, the town of Austining passed the ICLEI membership in cities for climate protection resolution, declaring that outlined further steps that the town would take to mitigate climate change. And whereas on June 9th, 2009, the town registered with the New York State's Climate Smart Communities, CSC program, formed a joint CSC task force with the Village of Austining in March 2022 and is currently seeking further certification of the program. And whereas the town is designated a clean energy community, CEC, by NYSERDA for completing multiple high impact actions to reduce GHG emissions and increase the community's climate resilience, and makes the town eligible to receive higher grants to complete further climate action. And whereas the COVID-19 epidemic has both highlighted and exacerbated existing health inequalities that have resulted from climate change, such as neighborhoods with poorer air quality being disproportionately affected by disease, and therefore be it resolved that the town of Austining declares a climate emergency and calls for an immediate emergency mobilization to restore safer climate and encourages other municipalities to do the same. And be it further resolved that the town of Austining affirms its commitments by reducing carbon emissions 5% per year through 2040. And be it further resolved that through a 5% annual carbon emissions reduction, the town of Austining commits to meeting the goals outlined in the statewide Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act on the municipal level, which include, but is not limited to, receiving 70% of electricity from renewable sources and 40% reduction in GHG emissions by 2030, and as an 85% reduction in GHG emissions, including carbon offsets, by 2050. And let it further be resolved that the town affirms its commitments to the youth involvement in climate action through inclusion of youth positions to the Environmental Advisory Committee, which allow for the generation most shaped by climate change to have a voice in combating it. And further be resolved that the town of Ossining will continue to highlight underrepresented voices in all further actions to combat climate change and increase resilience in the face and the effects of climate crisis. And be it further resolved that the town, as a climate leader, will encourage other Westchester municipalities, to pass similar climate measures if they have not already done so, and will actively seek to provide guidance for other municipalities to do so.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Good reading, Sue.
Yeah,
Oh my
excellent reading. I
God.
think that we are going to have to bring the young advocates from Sunrise Westchester back to write all of our resolutions. Thank you to the incredible team of Sunrise Westchester, young advocates, for bringing this to our attention and presenting to the town board at our work session last week. We are pleased to be adopting this resolution and urge our municipal colleagues in the county to do the same. We all need to do our part to combat climate change. So thank you. Any further questions or discussion?
Nope, glad that we're all on the same page and on board to make a difference.
Absolutely. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. Thank you.
New York State Liquor Authority Special Events Permit Application, River Jam Summer Concert Series and Fireworks Celebration. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby authorizes the supervisor to sign the landlord authorization form for the New York State Liquor Authority Special Event Permit Application made by Sing Sing Kill Brewery LLC for the Craft Beverage Corral at the River Jam Summer Concert Series and the fireworks celebration at Lewis Engel Park on Fridays, July 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th, August 12th, 19th, and 26th, and September 2nd, 2022, with rain dates of Sundays following the scheduled Friday dates. And be it further resolved that the applicant will provide proof of insurance and a letter of indemnity to the town in the form acceptable to the council of the town. Do I have a,
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I was actually just thinking we should add one date into here, a friendly amendment, for the sake of the possibility that we could use the Sunday of that August 5th Friday, which would be August 7th, just in case we need that Sunday. The August 5th is Fire Parade, which we don't have a concert, but sometimes we need a little flexibility. So if everybody's okay with that, friendly amendment to add in August 7th, and we'll just make sure that everybody's on board with that with the group.
is that not the fire parade?
It is the Fire Parade on the Friday. I'm asking for the
Okay.
Sunday as a rain date,
Okay.
Just to
Talking
add it
about
back.
August.
7th as a rain date.
I
That's
don't
it.
believe
Hmm?
it's a rain date that we have scheduled, though.
I know, but
Well, but
nevertheless,
I don't think it's also on the application that Sing Sing Kill Brewery is making.
I understand, but okay, well, all right, so then we can leave it off. That's fine. All right, so just let's go as is then. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? We have time anyway if we needed to add in a date. Okay,
Okay, personnel resignation. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining accepts with regret the resignation of Fashta Nazia, a part-time position of intermediate clerk for the town court, justice court, effective June 22nd, 2022.
do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So although we are sad to see Freshta go, we are happy that she will be moving on to a full-time job with the Westchester County Court System. Congratulations, Freshta, and best of luck in your new role. Questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Contract Radish Health Incorporated. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining authorizes the supervisor to sign an agreement with Radish Health, Inc., for concierge healthcare services for full-time and elected Town of Austin employees, subject to approval of council for the town as to form.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
So we are excited to be offering these healthcare services to our employees via Radish Health, and we will be evaluating the success of the pilot program during the 2023 budget season, which will be taking place in 2022. Questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Okay, call for public hearing, local law to allow members of all public bodies in the town of Austin to participate in meetings via video conferencing. Resolved that the the town board of the town of Austin hereby calls for a public hearing to be held in the matter of local law to allow members of all public bodies in the town of Austin to participate in meetings via video conferencing on Wednesday, June 29th, 2022 at 7:30, held via video conferencing, only in accordance with the state authority, with a login information available on the town website in advance of the meeting.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
So as discussed at our last work session, we will be starting a local law to allow for remote meetings under the new provisions of state law enacted in April. Stay tuned for the draft legislation. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Call for a public hearing, local law regulating bicycles with electric assist, and electric scooters in the town of Austin. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby calls for a public hearing to be held in the matter of the local law regulating bicycles with electric assist, and electric scooters in the town of Austin on Wednesday, June 29th, 2022 at 7:30 or soon thereafter, held via video conferencing in accordance with the same authority, with the login information available on the town's webpage in advance of the meeting.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So following suit with the Village of Austin, we are going to start the process of adopting legislation to regulate e-bikes and scooters and bikes in the town of Austin. This is going to be key to the success of Project Mover in the town and Village of Austin. Fingers crossed that we get that $7 million grant for e-bikes, in which case we also will benefit, even though right now the Village of Austin is doing all the work. And then there are a number of other communities are considered, what are they called? Innovators?
Incubators.
I knew it. Innovators and incubators. We're all that and more.
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Okay, monthly reports. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby accepts the monthly reports for the month of May 2022, tax receiver, GE helicopter report, Dale Cemetery, supervisor's office, and town clerk.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And we have come to visitor recognition. On any topic whatsoever, visitors will be accorded 1 4-minute opportunity to speak. Dare I say, Jamie Black, you have already used your general comment time, even though you couched it in a comment about a resolution. Nevertheless, is there anybody who would like to speak?
Does our clerk want to speak?
Yes.
Okay.
I would just like to remind everyone that on June 28th at 10 a.m., we will be having the unveiling of the dedicating our hallway here in town and Village Hall to Marianne Roberts, who spent 30 years of her life working for municipal government, many of them in this office, many of them sitting at the desk space that I'm sitting in. We want to appreciate her and show our appreciation for her. So feel free to come over to Village Town Hall for 10 a.m. on June 28th.
Does that mean you're going to actually put her to work on primary day since it is?
No, but I did express that it was primary day to others, but it it will be a nice break. Hopefully we'll have people out at the polling booths, and we are, oh, by the way, we are opening all polling booths for primary day. So wherever you normally go to vote, please go there.
Fantastic. Thank you. And on the ballot for the January 28th primary, just for everybody's edification, is the governor and the
Lieutenant Governor.
and assembly for the Democratic primary, and for the Republican primary, I believe it's just governor, lieutenant governor.
At
It's June 28th.
June
That's for
28th.
June 28th,
Right.
correct. August 23rd, we get Congress and
Right. Congress and
Senate, state Senate, and possibly some others. So we'll see.
That's it.
All right, fantastic. So with that, I would ask, did we
we have
already
to take a motion to adjourn to executive session.
for advice of
moved.
counsel and personnel?
I'm
We
sorry?
did not. Yes, so can I have a motion to adjourn to executive session for advice of counsel and personnel, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with a town hall meeting on Tuesday, June 21st. Can't wait to see you then. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.